Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I do like doing puzzles by James Sinclair. And if you do too, he does produce an artisanal Sudoku drop every month, I think. So you can check that out. But today's puzzle is one involving halvers by James, who has recently proved to be a bit of a master of these modifier cell puzzles. I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. Now, James is one of the people who has produced a worm that we have published amongst our apps, and the worms are kind of strings of puzzles that link on to one to the next and so on. And James's is the most approachable of the ones we've released so far. So do check that out as well. It's really quite manageable, and but the others are just magnificent as well, by Phistomefel and Michael Lefkowitz and Marty Sears. They're on the links for the apps, where you can also find Classic Sudoku 2, our latest app, and others, including Arrow, Thermo, and Killer Sudoku, which are all relevant today, and Domino Sudoku. So check those out. Christmas is coming, of course. And also you could go to Sven's Sudoku Pad and support Sven. Or we've also got more content on Patreon, where on the first of each month we produce a Sudoku hunt. And we've got a good one coming up for December. Can't wait for that. We're just putting up the solution videos to the prior month's hunt. The November put out more flags. So for the $3 a month patrons, you can see all the solution videos to that. And then there are crosswords and connections videos too, loads of good content on Patreon. But the first link under the video is to Halfway There by James Sinclair, in which normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Exactly one cell in each row, column, and 3x3 box is a halver. So that could be in this distribution, in theory. There we go. Those could be the halvers. Now, the value of a halver cell is equal to its digit divided by 2, of course. So we're going to have to watch out for those as we look at the other rules. The sum of the values in a cage is equal to the number given, which is 18 in this cage, for instance. Digits cannot repeat within a cage, but values can. On an arrow, the sum of the values on an arrow is equal to the sum of the value in the circle. Thermometers, the values increase from the bulb as you go towards the end. And values in cells separated by a V sum to 5. Values in cells separated by an X sum to 10. Those are the rules. Give it a try on that first link, and you can check my video length to see how hard I'm about to find it. Let's get cracking. I have been thinking about these, as I've been talking, I've been thinking about these cages and how difficult they are to fill with this halver rule. This is an interesting thermo, but I'm going to focus on this cage. With the doubler rule, you have to be suspicious of high values. With the halver rule, it's low values that are open to a lot of interpretation, but this is a high value, this 24 cage. I think this has to contain a 987, and we have to just ignore any possibility of halvers, because what would a halver do? It would reduce the maximum value from 24 to something much less. So that is a 987 triple. This digit is 1, 2, or 3. No, you see, I have to be careful here. The value of this is 1, 2, or 3. And annoyingly, this digit could be a 4 or a 6 being halved. Oh, double X. Okay, this is nonsense. I didn't notice this. Right, there's clearly, you can't put whatever, if you didn't have a doubler within these, a halver within these 3 cells, you'd have a problem, because whatever was in this cell, it would need exactly the same digit to go in those to make 10. So one of these is a halver. What color am I using for halvers? Violet today. So one of those is the halver. And that means nothing else in box 3 or column 9 can be a halver. We know none of those are halvers. So where I can find non-halvers, I'm going green. When I can find halvers, I'm going violet. This is the sort of shape where I begin to start advising you to look for set theory. I'm not going to do that on this puzzle because there's only one of them and I don't think it would help. Anyway, so there is a halver here. What is going on, in fact, in these cells? So there's no point putting the halver in the middle cell because it'll have the same value and both of those would have to be the same. So that's not the halver. Now, what is going to be in the middle cell? I don't know. But whatever is going to be in these two have the same value. And therefore, the halver is twice the digit that is in the other. So this is either 8 and 4, and they would both have the value of 4, and this would be a 6. Or it's 6 and 3, and they both have the value of 3, and this is 7. Or it's 4 and 2, both with the value of 2, and this is 8. Or it's 2 and 1, both with the value of 1, and this is 9. So this is a big digit. Okay, that's something. And that's the only totally obvious there must be a halver here. Oh, this is interesting. Right, if you were to actually increase the digits along this thermo, you would get at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, and that adds up to 21, and that can't be what's happening. And this cage is actually, it's the same problem. It doesn't even need a thermo. We were told that digits don't repeat within a cage, but values can. And values are going to have to repeat. Now, we have to be very careful with this cage I've just worked out, and maybe with both of them. Because you could have 2 halvers in a cage. As long as they weren't in the same row, column, and 3x3 box. And those halvers could be odd digits being halved. See, over here, the halver cell is going to be an even digit being halved to be an integer. Now, we might start running out of that if we insisted on there being only one halver in this cage, becoming an integer, and only one in this one. Now, actually, it's this thermo, isn't it? Of course. And my theory about values that end in a half is going to be absolutely vindicated. Because if you were to put only integer values on this thermo, that is the big problem. Like, whether you use halvers or not, if you were to use only integer values on the thermo, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Absolute minimum 6. And that would be a minimum count of 21. And those, I'm talking about the values now, but the count of the values is 18. So we are going to have half values sprinkled into this. That's really interesting. Okay, so I wonder if we can work out what both the half values are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adds up to 21. From those minima, we want to deduct 3 from, we're deducting from a minimum, that's brilliant. We want to deduct 3. The interesting thing is, you couldn't have half 1, 2 starting this thermo, because the half would require a digit 1 being halved, and the 1 would then require a digit 1. I've resolved that we're going to have 2 halver cells in this cage. That's the only way we can introduce any reduction in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is to have one cell somewhere reducing to a value that has a half on the end, and then we need another cell reducing to a value that has a half on the end so we can get to the integer value of the cell. So within this cage there are 2 halver digits, and if this was a natural digit, the 2 halvers would see each other, and that's illegal, either in the same column or the same box. So that is a definite halver. And the other one is not in those cells. Also, the other one is not in box 1 or row 3. So now we know where the halver is in box 3. And there's no halver in those cells. Now, this cell does not have 2 halvers. It can only have 1, and it must have 1, and that, this time, must be an integer digit, therefore. So that is either an 8 or... Because we need to remove 3 from the minimum normal integer values, the digit being halved must be at least 3 less than its normal value, I think. It feels like that must be right. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a halved 6. That sounds like, to me, it would work. But there might be other ways to do it. Yes, if you had a halved 8, that would be worth 4, and your 5 other digits would add to 14. Well, that doesn't work. What am I talking about? How does it work for 6 being halved? 6 being halved gives a 3, and the other 5 digits add to 15. Oh, 8 being halved does not work, because it gives you a 4, and the other 5 digits would have to add to 14, but they couldn't all be different. Oh. What about 4 being halved to 2? Then the other 5 digits would have to add to 16, but that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and include another 4. That's no good. And if you halved 2 to 1, the other 5 digits would add to 17, and they would also have to include a 2. This has got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a halved 6. How intriguing. And that digit can't be 6 anymore because we've had a 6 in the row. So now that's 7, 8 or 9. The value, this is 1, 2 or 3. And this has a value of 1, 2 or 3 achieved by halving 2, 4, not 6, because 6 got halved there. It was a rule, wasn't it, that the halvers contained a complete set of the digits 1 to 9. I do hope I mentioned that when I was doing the rules. I think I did. Right, so here we've got a halved 2 or 4. There we've got a halved 6. Here we're going to have 2 halved cells, and they're going to be odd numbers being halved to something with a half in. Oh, well, this is one of them. Well, that doesn't work on the X. Ah, I got this wrong. I said that the only 2 places to put the halves were there and somewhere here. Otherwise, if that was natural, I said these would all see each other. But no, those 2 don't see each other in respect of this function, and the X can't have a half on one side and not on the other. So that, sorry, I got it wrong. I mean, it didn't make any difference to the other deductions, thank goodness, because we still had a halver in row 3. But these are going to be the 2 halvers now. Oh, and that means the minimum digits here are 1, 2, 3. Then you could have 3.5, 4, 4.5. How much would that add up to? 8, 12, that's it. 1, 2, and in fact 4.5 is the maximum thing you can have, because that's halving the biggest possible digit of 9. So that's a 3.5, that's a 4.5, that's a 3.5. Oh my goodness, this cage fills itself in when you finally work it out. This is a 4 coming between 3.5 and 4.5, and these are 1, 2, 3, and that must be how this works. So that's a regular 4, this is a 6, and we're in business now. Those don't have a 4 in. Well, we're in business in the sense that we've found some halvers, and I can do a lot of greening in the grid. Look at all that. Wow, I mean, okay, it wasn't as complicated as I found it, but it wasn't simple either. There's a 6 in one of those by Sudoku. Now this V, these are natural cells. This isn't going to work because they can't have a 4 in. Oh, it can work. That has to be a 2-3 pair. And you're saying, well, how can that possibly sit there with a cell between them? Because that cell can be worth 2.5. Oh, it's beautiful. James, you've done it again. This is incredible. That is a 5 worth 2.5. There we go. And now this is the only cell left in box 9 that can be a halver. And that is giving an integer value of 1, 2, or 3. So that is 2, 4, or 6, but it can't be 6. So that's 2 or 4. And that's, oh, sorry, these weren't meant to go violet. They were meant to go green. That's the 2, 4 pair in the halvers. And we've had 7, 9, 5, and 6. The other halvers are 1, 3, and 8 being halved. Well, the 3 is not going to be in that row. The 1's not going to be in this row. It's clever, this. Right, oh, look at this V. There's a 2 there. If these were natural cells, this would be a 1, 4 pair. Now, the only integer that we can get from a future halver is 8 being halved to give 4. We've had 2, 4, and 6. So any halver in this box, we've got 8, 1, or 3 to halve. We can halve 8 to be 4. It's this V. I should be thinking more clearly about this V. This is either a 1, 4 natural or a 1, 8 unnatural. It can't be 2, 3. And we're only allowed to halve 1, 3, and 8. The halving of 1 or 3 is irrelevant on one of these V's. So there is a 1 in those cells and not 3, either a natural 4 or an unnatural 8. This digit cannot be 1. No, hang on. I'm thinking about this as a thermo, but it's a bowl. It's a arrow. I almost feel like it can't be. Oh, it can't. I was going to say it can't be 8, but it wouldn't be a natural 8. It would be a fake 8. So it could be that. This could be the halver on this arrow. Oh, I don't know how to deal with these. I mean, I love what I've done so far, but okay, there's a 5 to come in column 1, and that's got to be in one of those cells. So these don't include 5. So 4, 5, and 6 in this box, in this cage, sit in box 2. In fact, that's a 2, 3 pair, that's a 2, 3 pair, this is a 2, 3 pair. So these are 1, 4, 5, and 6 in some order. 7 in the box is in one of those 2. 6 is somewhere here. This circle can't be 1, 2, 3, 9, 5, or 6. It's 4, 7, or 8. I mean, this could be a weird arrow where you've got a circle of 8, an 8 there that's worth 4, and a 4 there that's worth 4. That's quite likely because it's quite fun. Oh, what's in this circle? That's not uninteresting. It's not 9, 8, 7, or 5. So I'm immediately going to say it's 6, 4, or 3. This is an all-natural arrow and circle. If that wasn't 6, this would be either a 4 with 1, 3 there, or a 3 with 1, 2 there. In either of those cases, this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, that would be 6, and this would be 5. On the other hand, if this is 6, oh, this can't be a 2, 4 pair because of that. It would have to be a 5, 1 pair. 5 in this box is definitely now in one of those 2 cells. That's just Sudoku. Oh, and 2 and 4 are a pair that see all of these cells. Whether that's 2 and that's 4 or the other way around, you can't put 2 or 4 in these cells. So that's not a 4. And that's lovely. If this was a 3, either that would have to be a 2, impossible, or that would have to be a 2, which we've just discovered is impossible. So that is a 6. This is a 5-1 pair, because it can't be a 2-4 pair without breaking that cell. And now these other digits in the box are from 2, 3, and 4. That's very clever. 5 there, 5 there, there's a 5 somewhere here. That is worth actually 1 or 2, so this is not 7 here. So 7's in one of those cells, and therefore in one of these two in box 7. Right, well that was a good deduction. We also know that 1 has to be halved somewhere in these remaining 3 boxes. It can't be here because 1 already appears in this column. I don't think it can be here because 1 is going to have its normal value on this V. So the halved 1 is going to be in this row. Now, can we rule it out of there? Probably not, because this could have a halved value of, well, that could be, oh my goodness, this is being halved. All of these 3 might be halved. This might be 3 halved, being 2 halved plus 1 halved. It's so wicked that that's possible. It's very clever. It is either 3 or 8 that must be halved here. I don't know. How do I prove which of those? Oh, I can prove which of those is a 1. And there, we've got a 1 in one of those 2 cells. We've got a 1 in one of those 4 cells. That's an X-wing on 1s. That uses up the 1s in columns 4 and 5. The 1 in this row, which has to be in a halver, is there. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. So now this has to be a halved. Well, we know 3 and 8 are the 2 digits we have left. That has to end in a half. And there we go. We do get the full value halving there. Now we do need a halver in these cells. So that is 8 being halved to be a 4. I'm going to literally change around my corner marks. 8 is the halved value here. Now we've had 2 there. This is a 4. Then we can fill in these digits as that's got a value of 2. So it's got 8 and 2. This is 3 now, and that's 4. So good. Right. This is either 1 or a value of 4. So this digit is 9 or 6. This is either 1 or a value of 4. So let's think about this arrow. I don't know, it leaves a lot of possibilities. Based on that, this could be 3, 6, 7, 3 or 4. Well, it can't be 3. Okay, so fewer possibilities than I realised. This is 4, 6 or 7, I think. I should really be doing Sudoku. This is a 179 triple, but we've got a 1 there and a 1 somewhere here. We need a 1 in one of those 3 cells, so the 1 is at the top. 8, I don't know, 8 could be there. And I rather fancy it is because it gives such a mischievous arrow. I haven't really thought about this baby yet. I don't know, it's tricky. So let's do the markings up here. 5's in one of that side, 1's on that side, 8's in the top row, 9's in one of those 2. So this must be a 1. It sees 9 No, hang on. Why did I say 5 was in one of those two? Oh, that's from column 1. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is a 1, and that's an 8. And I can't resolve the 5-9 pair. That 1 means there's no 1 in these cells. Oh, there's no 4 in this cell since we got the corner. So that's 1, 5. This is 4, 6, where the 6... Oh, I should mark that there's a violet there. The 6 is the halver here. 1, 5 there sorts out the 9, 5 pair. It's excellent this. Right, 5, 6 and 7 still to place in this column. 4, 6 and 8 down the first column. So we get an 8 in the corner. That's a naked 7 now. Then I can fill in 1 and 9. That 9 goes into this box, oh, which I could have done from the X quite a while ago, and I didn't. One of these digits is a 2. Surprisingly, no X-wing formed there. The other is a 4 or 6, which will form an X-wing with 4 or 6 here, but I can't really use that at the moment. 2, 3, 6, so these are from 4, 7, 8. This central one can't be an 8. These are a 6, 5 pair. I like it when it comes down to Sudoku. Don't tell Simon I said that. 1, 2, these are from 4, 5, 6, 8. Now, this is a naked single. It says 7, 4, 6, 2, 8, 3, 9, and 1. I'm writing 5 in there. 1 in this row has to be there. This is a 3, 8, 9 triple. This is a 2, 7 pair. Looking up and down this column, that can't be 7. This circle can't be 8, which is in one of those cells. 3, 9, 1, 2, 7. This is 4, 5, or 6 in the circle. And that's a natural value. This has to be lower, so that's a definite 3. And then this digit has to be worth 1, 2, or 3. So it can't be the natural 4. This must be the fake 6. Brilliant. So that's the last bit of finding of halvers that I needed to do. This is half of 6 plus 3 equals 6. That was the sort of arrow I was expecting this to be. And this is a halver. This is half of 8 plus 4 equals 8. That is exactly the same sort of arrow. That's brilliant. This is a 1. That's a 9. This is all falling into place now. This is a 7, I think. This digit sees 4 and 6 in the column. We've got 5 and 8 left to go. This is the only possible 8. So that's a 5, that's 1, that's 4. This is now 9 and 8. That can't be 8 or 6 in this column. This can't be 4 or 8. This one can't be 4 or 2. This is a 6, 5, 4. And I can finish off 6 and 4 over there. 9 is actually looking down to the bottom. I've got the bottom row done. This is a 3, 5 pair that can be filled in. This is a 2, 7 pair that can't. But that 5 that I got looks here and makes it 6. This can't be 8, is all I've learnt. What about this? Oh, 9 is forcing that to be 7. I can just finish off the row. That's 2, that's 4. And we need 8 in the row, and that fixes the 7, 8 in box 9. This is now, I think, a 4, 2 pair. Looks like it works. This is 7 and 6 up at the top. That's going to sort out 7, 2 and 3, 2. And we can finish off now. 3, 9, 5 and 6 to go in that order. And there we go. We're more than halfway there. The solution is correct. It's a beautiful puzzle by James, as so often. And absolute pleasure to solve it. It's just so good. I love the stacking on the arrows. They were so fun. 3 and double 3 halved equals double 3. 4 and double 4 halved equals double 4. Halved 1 and halved 2 equals halved 3. Even this Thermo was brilliant. Oh, it's just lovely when you get to experience variant Sudoku at this level. It's such a pleasure. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.